But before we jump into all that, today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Football season is around the corner, people. Visit FanDuel and make sure you get on that app today and start planning your future bets now, because today is the day. You got one more week, and then football is going to be here. College football is Thursday. Some college football already started, so we are here, people. But college football for the University of Minnesota starts on Thursday, which then means the very next Sunday we have Monday night, we have Vikings football, people. So make sure you go get those prop bets, those future bets that J.J. McCarthy outthrows Caleb Williams. Hey, you might want to jump on that because we know Caleb Williams might throw at least one interception. Hey, I'm giving you all your early props now. But again, go to FanDuel. Jump on that app today and make sure you download it. And it's right there on your phone. But now as I bring my co-host to the show, Sam Ekstrom. Sam, it's cutdown day. And this is one of the worst days in the history of sports. There's a couple, like the day after the Super Bowl might be one of the worst in sports fans' feelings. Of the day after the champion is crowned for basketball might be one. I'm not a big baseball guy, but even after the World Series, that next day is tough. And then I'm a softball guy. So after the College World Series was over, after Texas beat Texas Tech, it was a little boring. I'm like, what do I do now? But Sam, today is worse than all of that. Here's why, and people don't understand this. The Vikings had 90 players come to camp, 91 because they had an international player competing for the punt job. Mm-hmm. And when you think about that, they have to get down to 53, Sam. So 91 players, and now they have to get down to 53. If my Minnesota math works out, that's 38 players are being told within the next couple of hours. That was yesterday, the day before yesterday, and then today, that you no longer have a job here with the Minnesota Vikings. So for those to understand, people are, oh man, they're rich. No, there's rookies that have not made any money. There are players that have not ever been active on a roster, and they're just hoping to get a chance. I forgot how you say the guy's name, DiNucci, the quarterback. He just got cut. Ben DiNucci just got cut for the 7th time, and he tweeted out like, there's nothing better than an airport beer for the 7th time I've been cut. Like, and so, it's a little bit of humor in it, but it's a little bit of like heartache in it. And I'm hoping to catch up with Spice Adams either this week or next week. He had a viral video years ago, that was, hey NFL, I'm in free agent or something. It was like a free agent video, and it was going through the day in the life of a free agent who wants a job with a team. He had just gotten cut, I think, by the Bears. And it was like him in the shower crying. It was him playing Guitar Hero. It was him playing Rock Band. It was him playing with his kids. It was him doing swim moves on his kids. And it's just like, what do I do until a team calls? And then, like every 5 minutes, he was looking at his phone, picking it up. He was checking text messages, thinking his agent. Then he would get a call and be like, hey, what do you want, man? So it's just the like, are they ever going to call? The tough thing I want people to remember is this is a tough day for a lot of players. So let's not get out there and just, celebrate the person. You're happy that person got cut. Because I know there's some people that are like, oh, thank God they didn't keep that guy. Don't do that. Let's not do that. Let's not revel or celebrate a person losing their job. Because imagine how you would feel if you went to work today and your boss just flat out said, we got too many people, so we don't need you. No merit. Not really that you aren't good enough. We just don't need you. We got too many guys. You could do the job if you wanted to. You probably could. But we have other guys probably a little bit better, and we just got too many people. So we got to get rid of you. And then the world got to see it on Twitter. Like, that's the thing. People get fired all the time, and nobody knows. Like, imagine Target if they tweeted out every time they fired somebody. Oh, we just fired Sue Smith. We just waived cashier Blake Smith for the holiday season. People would like lose their minds if everybody knew, like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram knew they just lost their job. Now, granted, I wouldn't care if I saw Target post Ben Smith lost his job. I wouldn't know who that is, but I'm pretty sure Ben feels bad because his friends know. And he's like, oh, wow, Ben got fired. What's he going to do? That's not fun when the world knows that you lost a job and you're in a public job. So I'm praying for those guys today because it is a tough day. But moving on, Sam, we got to talk about the business at hand. 12 guys released. Big trades. Mekhi Blackmon. Carson Wentz is here now. They got rid of Sam Howell. I didn't see that one coming. I didn't. I thought it'd be Sam Howell, Max Brosmer, and J.J. McCarthy. But clearly, as we all kind of said, Max Brosmer was the shiner. He shined. Because I even said it. Because I said, like, other than J.J. McCarthy, my tweet was, other than J.J. McCarthy, is Max Brosmer the best-looking quarterback in that room. Right. And everybody's like, well, Sam Howell went 8 for 11 and da-da-da. And I think Luke and Arif last time we were together for the game. The squad show after the game, the postcast. And they asked that question like, it's okay to take a victory lap for Max Brosmer, and so I was trying to temper my expectations. I'm like, I don't know what's going to happen. People were saying Max should be QB2. Clearly, like, he's kind of was in that running. We'll see what happens, but he's the third quarterback left. So all signs point to Max Brosmer will get a playbook today. And get ready for tomorrow. Like, he will have the tablet or whatever they're going to use and all the notes. And I hope he has his Kirk Cousins notebook, because he's the notebook clipboard guy to Carson Wentz and J.J. McCarthy. But I'm excited for Max Brosmer. But Sam, Mekhi Blackmon, did you see that one coming?
Boy, no, I didn't. Just because of what it leaves you. Now, maybe they plan on still signing a veteran, and we just don't know about that. But now, I mean, that was sort of the person competing for CB3. And then Jeff Okudah won that job pretty clearly, but you at least said, well, there's someone in Blackmon who's got experience, at least, behind Okudah. Now, the next person in line is Dwight McGlothern, Samaya Vaughn. Your depth at corner takes a hit. And I think, Ron, that compels them to make a move at cornerback. I think that has to be a move. I don't think you can assume you're going to have 3 healthy corners all year, especially with Okudah's injury history. So it does make me a little nervous, and it's another hit for, the young corners that Kwesi has tried to acquire and draft. It just hasn't worked out. They acquired Dantzler when the staff took over and weren't able to develop him anymore. Caleb Evans showed promise, weren't able to develop him. And then, of course, Mekhi Blackmon now. So coming off injury, tough situation for him, but didn't show enough. And, they get a 6th-round pick for him, but I was surprised.
And when you look at, like you said, like, they haven't cut Ambry Thomas, so he's still there. Samaya Vaughn, still there. Dwight McGlothern, so those 3. And then you got Jeff Okudah, Isaiah Rodgers, Byron Murphy. So those are the 6 that are still there. Keenan Garber and Reddy Stewart were released. Mekhi Blackmon was traded. So they potentially could just go with that 6. That could be the 6 DBs they go with. I mean, Ambry Thomas, we know, is extremely fast. We know he can play special teams. Didn't get a ton of reps, so you would assume he was going to get cut. Maybe he still will in this late grouping of cuts. But you got Josh Metellus, Harrison Smith, Jay Ward, Theo Jackson. I don't think Tavierre Thomas, Michelle Powell, Khalif Halisi, and Owens are going to – I think they're going to go 4 safeties. I do. Maybe 5 with Tavierre Thomas, but I feel like 4 safeties. I feel like it's a 4 safety, 6 cornerback type of situation, because Byron Murphy can play in the slot, because Isaiah Rodgers can play in the slot. I think that they feel like, you know what? We have what we need. I think the 4 safeties and 6 corners maybe is what they need. Now, do they go 4 safeties, 5 corners, and Ambry or Samaya Vaughn is out? Or are they watching the waiver wire as well? Because everybody's going to be cutting people today. And are they seeing a corner that potentially could get cut? And they're going to, maybe go after him. There's a guy out there. And again, they're trading a ton of capital. 6 rounds after 6 rounds after 5th rounds after 5th rounds. I don't know NFL math much, but I don't know what 10 5th rounders and 4 6 rounders will get you. But clearly the Vikings are loading up for something or someone. And we'll talk about that in a little bit. But I just wonder, like Carson Wentz being out on the street, I didn't have that on my bingo card. I totally forgot about him. When we first talked about this, we thought about like the Flacco, the Tannehills. But Carson Wentz, he knows the system. He's a North Dakota kid, which is kind of like Minnesota. And Kevin O'Connell clearly likes what he saw in the workout because he made that move quick. And Carson Wentz has gone to a Super Bowl. He led his team to a Super Bowl. Nick Foles just got the glory of finishing it out. But Carson Wentz led the Eagles to a Super Bowl. Let's not forget that. Not to say that he's still that same Carson Wentz, the RPO guy, the get the ball out of his hands guy, the running, the ability guy. We know he's had some knee injuries and some other stuff, and he's older. But he's still here a Super Bowl winning quarterback. Like, he still has the ability to get a team. He had the ability to get a team to that upper echelon of knocking off Tom Brady. Now, it wasn't him, it was Nick Foles, but he got the team there. Like, I remember being at that Super Bowl because I was in Minneapolis, and Carson Wentz comes through on the crutches, and it's a sad scene. You're like, this dude could have won himself a Super Bowl. Now, he has a Super Bowl ring. He has a ring, but he didn't, he'll never go down in history as a Super Bowl.
Got one with the Chiefs too last year, Ron. He had
two rings. He's got two. And my point to that, both of them, he'll never go down in history as a Super Bowl winning quarterback. Like, he'll be able to say that. So, like, in 15 years, I'd say, kind of like Drew Bledsoe, nobody remembers. Like, nobody's going to remember exactly that. Like, we will, but we're going to be old as heck. Like, I'll be 60 in 15 years. I'll be a grandpa probably. But in 15 years, when you think about that, yeah, because my daughter will be 29. Dang it. That is crazy. She'd be turning 30.
Life comes at you
15
fast.
years. It comes at you really fast. I'll have a 30-year-old in 15 years, and I'll be 60. And Carson Wentz will be out speaking, telling like the Champions Creed, and he will have 3 rings, none as a starting quarterback. Technically starting quarterback for the Eagles, but not in the actual game because the Minnesota Vikings are going to win one with Carson Wentz. And so Carson Wentz will have his 3rd ring, and it'll be like Thanos with the stones. He'll have the red ring for the Chiefs. He'll have the green ring for the Eagles, and he'll have the purple ring for the Vikings. All the color stones. He just needs if he had gotten a Rams ring, that could be the yellow. He needs the blue, could have been the Lions. He's got to jump some teams. I wonder if there is a guy. I need to do this research. No, nobody has that many rings. It's just Tom Brady. I wonder if anybody would have that many different colored championships with different teams, but you need 5 to 6 championships with different teams to make those colors work. But Tom Brady maybe could say he's beaten those teams in the Super Bowl to get those colors. But that's the thing about the NFL is like Carson Wentz comes in, all is well now. Everybody's like, oh, whew, okay, Carson Wentz is the backup. If something happens to JJ, we know Carson Wentz can get it done. It's amazing how quick the mindset. Everybody's like, Sam Howell might have to lead us to a Super Bowl. No, it's Carson Wentz now. If something happens to JJ, he doesn't look good, Carson Wentz is here. Have no fear. Carson Wentz is here. And then you have Max Brosmer, who's going to be the guy. Now, when you look at the rest of these cutdowns, Sam, trading as well. I don't know if we didn't talk much about this yet, but, also trading Harrison Phillips. I go back to that. That one to me, too, was weird. Like, that was a weird one. Like, he was a great piece to that defense. But again, is it the dollars plus the capital to do something else they need? Are they clearing space for something? Is there a cornerback out there that they want to potentially sign? Like, there's a lot to be wondered about some of these trades. But I saw a tweet with all the draft picks from the team, and I think they said there's like 1 out of the 16 draft picks left. And then I saw your tweet, Sam, as well, saying, is this now a regime that doesn't know how to draft and develop cornerbacks? Thoughts on that? Because that was your tweet.
Yeah. Well, I mean, let's be honest. There have been some really unfortunate circumstances. Yeah. I mean, obviously, I'm not talking about Kyrie Jackson. I'm not talking about stuff like that. But they got, torn ACL for Blackmon probably set him back a little bit. But they didn't need to make this move. He had 2 years left on his deal, so I don't think they would make the move if they felt like he had some promise. Caleb Evans had a good rookie year, and then within a year, it seemed like they had given up on him. Didn't get anything out of Cam Dantzler when they inherited him from the Zimmer regime. So they've had, and these are high draft picks, Ron. These are 3rd round, 4th round, 2nd round picks. Oh, I forgot Andrew Booth. Andrew Booth got traded by his 2nd or 3rd year. So go back to a decade. Vikings haven't really developed a homegrown corner really well since like Xavier Rhodes, and Trey Waynes, probably you could probably count that one as well. Mac Alexander perhaps, but it's been a while. It's been a while since they drafted and developed a corner into someone who even got to the end of their rookie contract. And that's a problem. You can't just keep restocking the cupboard at corner. That's a hard position to keep having to refill with free agents and veterans. That's difficult.
I wonder though, like, because we're here. So this to us, all the Vikings Twitter, Diana Rossini brought that up. Vikings Twitter is one of the livest, I guess is the word. They're live. They're alive. It's a moving organism that attacks when it's angry. But I wonder how many other teams have drafted cornerbacks in the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and later rounds that actually made the roster more than a year or two. Like, because it's us doing this. And again, I don't know if I'm going to have time this weekend. I know Thursday night I'll be at the Gopher Stadium. Looking forward to being back on campus. Definitely not the campus I graduated from, but I'm looking forward to being back there. And so I won't have time Thursday. Potentially Friday. I might have a little time to do this. Maybe Saturday. My daughter has a softball, and there's like a couple hours in between each game on Saturday, and then Sunday's the brackets. But I kind of do want to do that. I want to kind of look at, like, and I'm not going to go too far back, maybe 3-4 years, maybe 5 years even, and just look at, because you can go corners drafted, and then you can see the round, and then you can look at like 5th round, 6th round, 7th round, 8th round. I don't know what has any round worked out for the Vikings? Is it even their 2nd round picks have not worked?
With
cornerbacks.
Kwesi? Oh, with cornerback.
Kwesi.
Well, when I
guess his whole draft class, they've all been cut or traded. I think.
Well, you think about the guys that Spielman. Spielman took Rhodes in the 1st round, worked out. He took Waynes in the 1st round. He was decent. Mm-hmm. Took Alexander in the 2nd round. So yes, I mean, I think if you invest highly in corners, I think that's a position where you probably want to find them early. I think your chances go down considerably as the draft goes on. Whereas maybe a running back or a wide receiver, maybe a tight end, I feel like you might find skill players, diamonds in the rough, more often than you would a cornerback. I think you got to take them high. And the Vikings have kind of tried that 3rd or 4th round sweet spot, 2nd round with Andrew Booth. Just hasn't worked out for them. And they give up quickly, Ron. Have you noticed that? They seem, if the day comes and they say, I don't think it's going to happen, they cut ties fast, whether it's Lewis Cine or Booth or Blackmon. They don't mess around. They get some value and they make a trade and they just call it a day.
Yeah, Sam, because I was out there doing yard work, as you know, family man. And I was cutting trees and I was cutting branches, getting ready for the winter because, like when they're hanging a certain length and, you can tell they're kind of dead and there's no more growth, you got to cut them. And I think that's where the Vikings, like I thought about that. It was like an Aristotle type of moment. As I'm cutting trees, I'm like, I get it. Like if you don't cut the tree and it's dead, the branch, you're going to kill the tree or you're going to hurt the tree. And I think that's what this becomes. Like it becomes is there any more fruit? Is there any more leaves coming from this branch? Let's cut and prune it and let's save the tree. The tree itself is the Minnesota Vikings organization and the team as a whole.